Join me as I take apart an Arduino board to see if I can figure out what really is inside this tiny tech marvel. The Arduino Uno is a microcontroller that has become incredibly popular among hobbyists and professionals alike. It's a tiny board that packs a big punch, and today we're going to take a closer look at what makes it tick. When you look at a microcontroller like the Arduino Uno, it can be a bit overwhelming. There are so many tiny components, and it's not always clear what each one does or how they work together. But that's exactly what we're going to explore today. We'll break down the different components of the Arduino Uno and see how they fit together. To make it easier for us, I divided each part into sections. We have the heart, the power section, our pin header section, our LED section, reset button, and our crystal oscillator. The first part is located at the heart of our Arduino Uno. Some people like to call it the brain of the Arduino Uno. It's called the Atmega 328 microcontroller. It controls all the main functions of the Arduino board. It stores and runs the code you upload via USB cable from your computer. The next section is our power section. Under this section, we have our USB jack. The USB jack makes it easy to upload code from your computer to the Arduino and keep it powered at the same time. Still under the power section, we have our USB interface chip. It acts as a translator between the Atmega 328 microcontroller and the USB cable. Another part of the Arduino Uno under the power section is the USB fuse. There's a tiny fuse usually located near the USB jack of the Arduino board. Its main job is to protect your Arduino and computer from any accident that could be as a result of incorrect wiring in a circuit. This is a clearer picture of how the USB fuse looks like. The DC jack. Our Arduino can be powered by a 7 to 12 volts AC to DC adapter through this opening. Next, we have the voltage regulator. It controls the amount of current that flows into the board. The decoupling capacitors. These components filter the incoming power supply from the DC jack to reduce voltage spikes that could damage the board. These particular components are absent in the cheaper versions of the Arduino Uno. The next section is the pin headers section. The headers are where you connect devices and build your circuits from. They appear as a single line of sockets along the top and bottom edge of the Arduino Uno board. These little sockets allow you to plug wires into them from all kinds of electronic parts like displays, sensors, motors, breadboards, and lots more. This particular section of the Arduino board is my favorite and I love it so much. Under the pin header section, we have the power headers. The pins within the power header section provides power and ground for low voltage devices like sensors, potentiometers, displays, and more. If you noticed, some pins have a wave-like symbol next to the pin number. These pins act as normal digital I/O pins, but can also be used for pulse width modulation (PWM), allowing them to simulate analog outputs and appear as if they are sending varying amounts of voltage between 0 and 5 volts. This is useful for controlling the speed of motors. Next in the header family is the analog pin header. The 6 analog pins labeled A0 to A5 can detect or read voltages between 0 volts and 5 volts, so they are commonly used for sensors. The next section is our LED section. Under this section, we have the power LED, the RX and TX LEDs, and we have the LED. Now, the power LED. This light will shine bright green whenever the Arduino board is powered. However, if it appears dim or doesn't turn on, then you have to check your power supply. The RX and TX LEDs will blink whenever data is transferred between the Arduino and your computer. The LED is the one on-board LED that you can control and is connected to pin 13. The next part on our Arduino Uno board is the reset button. When you press this button, the program currently running on your Arduino board will start at the beginning. Last but not the least is the crystal oscillator. The crystal oscillator gives the Arduino the ability to keep track of time and also generate pulse width modulation and serial communication signals. In this video, we've taken a closer look at the main components of the Arduino Uno, including the microcontroller, USB interface, pin headers, and LEDs. We've also seen how these components come together to make the Arduino a powerful tool for electronic projects. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something new about Arduino Uno today. If you have worked on any Arduino projects, be sure to leave a comment below and share your experience. And if you're interested in learning more about electronics and programming, stick around as we continue this journey of learning Arduino.